Right. To be honest, I've only played through Heroes once. From everything full, getting the Chaos Emeralds, and then fighting Metal Sonic at the...
Yeah, me too. I can't bother to play through the whole game 4 times. You know, the most I usually do when I play that game is just play through Sonic's story.
If I choose to do it again, it would have to be a thing like where I'd have to play through Team Sonic one day, and then like Team Dark the next, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's how I did it originally too. But I guess I wouldn't say that the next game is better, but it's basically the same arc, I guess, which is Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Right, and the year was 2005, and I believe Shadow the Hedgehog was the one Sonic game that was more American based, wasn't it?
It was all American writers. I don't know. They switched the voice cast for that one, which was...
Because it's okay, kids. The game's rated T for a reason.
It's not rated T, it's rated E10. But anyways, but yeah, this is probably the first Sonic game actually, like, had swearing in it, I guess. It was very adult, really dark, and to me, just wasn't Sonic. But it had...
Of course it wasn't Sonic, it was Shadow.
Oh, you know. I guess you got a point there, because Luigi's Mansion is nothing like a Mario game. But,
right, and see, with Shadow...
Unlike Luigi's Mansion... people dislike Shadow.
Well, yeah, I really enjoy Luigi's Mansion. Shadow. I've only gone that's another game I've only played through once to get the final ending.
Me too. Although it's not as bad as Heroes, where you're playing through the same game 4 times.
Right, like see with Shadow, it's you could choose your path. Eventually, you're gonna have to choose every path if you want the final.
So it basically shared the same thing about like the SA2 did, like, oh, you can choose either Hero or Dark.
But
although in this game you have normal mode too. So.
Right, and of course with Shadow, at this point he still doesn't know who he is, and see choosing what pathways you choose determines, like, I am a complete asshole to everyone. I'm going to be a good guy. I am,
yep.
And the whole "I am" thing even becomes a song.
And how the levels work is you have a hero, I guess, like a good guy, and then you have a bad guy. You can either choose to do the good guy's mission or the bad guy's mission. Depending on which one you do, you'll go to a different level on the select screen, and I guess the select screen, it'll, I think it labels like what's dark and what's good. Like, so if you go this direction, you'll go to the good side, I guess. Like, do this mission, you'll go up. You do this mission, you'll go down. And that's basically you forge a pathway as you go along.
As we get out my rocket launcher and shoot aliens.
Oh yeah, this is the first game where the character has guns besides, Gamma and stuff. This is where, I don't know.
Yeah, this is very shoot 'em up.
Yeah, even...
Because there's guns in every fucking level.
I know, there's also vehicles.
Yeah, vehicles,
Shadow
motorcycle, cars, robot leg things.
We have aliens, and dark aliens that are destroying the planet. It's just a big clusterfuck of ideas. Weird fanboy ideas. But,
Right.
I think overall Shadow controls a little bit better than Heroes. But, it's still meh.
And, let's see here. I guess, since going into the depths of the story, these aliens or whatever, they come down from space or whatever where they came from, and you find out our new villain, which is
Black Doom.
Yeah, very good. That's a really good voice.
Thank you.
And we discovered that later on that apparently Shadow was, like, his DNA is mixed with the aliens.
Which was, I don't know, think what you will of it. I don't really consider it canon, but whatever people want to take it as, it's fine by me. I don't really care about Shadow anymore anyway, so.
But, I still can't get over the whole fact of determining the story. Does Shadow really... I guess it's non-canon, but does Shadow really kill Eggman?
Well, that's not really I guess not, because no matter what, or, how many... I don't even know. There's only one true story, in my opinion, and that's, the final part.
Right.
Which, everybody lives and Shadow saves the day.
I think this is how Shadow the Hedgehog, I think how it is, the main thing Shadow was getting was the Chaos Emeralds or whatever.
Yeah.
Which eventually would lead to the last story.
I think how Shadow is it's mainly a what-if game up until the final part, because nothing that you actually do affects the final boss or whatever,
Right, because
no matter what you do, you're always gonna get the same ending, the same final ending, mind you, not the same story ending, but so I mean I think the final part of the game is the only part that's really legit. Everything else is just kind of a what if situation, what if Shadow did kill Eggman, and what if he decided to save the world. I guess it was just fanboy kind of.
Right, I agree. I think it's more of a fanboy game. But towards the end, you end up fighting him, and I believe it's 8 minutes into the battle when Eggman tells you who you really are and what really happened at the end of SA2, and
yeah, and that's really not explained very well, since you have to take 8 minutes on the boss fight. I've never heard that line, but I know it's there because I've heard many people talk about it. But
it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that, but I've never heard it myself, because I've only played the final boss of Shadow maybe 3 times. But
one of my robots caught you.
One of my robots caught you when they put you in my lab.
So stupid.
It's whatever. They have to make an excuse to bring the character back, but...
Right.
Overall, Shadow, there's people that like it, people that hate it. I just don't really care about it. Honestly.
Right, it's not...
It's just kind of there for me. It's just...
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Although I was really excited when I first heard about that game. I was flipping shit. I was like, oh my god, a big game for Shadow?
I don't really see there being a Shadow the Hedgehog 2.
No, I never see one since...
I think that was something they tried and, it kind of backfired.
Well, how it was originally supposed to be was we were supposed to get Sonic Adventure 3 about 3 times, because Sonic Heroes was actually called Sonic Adventure 3 at one point. And then they changed it to Sonic Heroes, and then Shadow was originally supposed to be Sonic Adventure 3, in brackets, Shadows, I don't know, Shadows something or other. And then we'll get to the next game.
Right. Well, at this point, this finally ends, I guess you would call it the Dreamcast, GameCube, PS2, Xbox era with Sonic. I mean, yeah, there were games I don't know, but
there weren't any.
But I guess now you lead more of today's systems. At this point, going with Sega, the Dreamcast was their last system, and they decided not to do things with consoles anymore. So that they were like, okay, we can't do the whole console thing, but we'll still make our games for other platforms, which, ends up getting us with Wii, the PlayStation 3, and the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sonic, still continues or whatever. And
I guess you could say that oh god.
Well, let's just say the beginning of the modern era wasn't the best start off.
I think it was probably the worst. what they released. This was also for the 15th anniversary game for the Xbox 360 and PS3, which was Sonic the Hedgehog, or as most people call it, Sonic 06.
Because, released in 2006.
And there was already a Sonic the Hedgehog, which was the first game. But this game was, I guess, a reimagining of the franchise. It was supposed to be kind of, not really a reboot, but it was...
Like, dear God, I wouldn't want to imagine what goes on in, that game.
Oh God, but Sonic 06 is famous for its terribleness. It is an absolutely atrocious game, and I don't even know.
I just don't know either. I find it to be the most buggiest game out of the whole franchise, really.
It probably is, and it's just very, very unfinished. I feel like there was a lot more they could have done with it, but it was... I think they just went through multiple ideas, and none of them really worked, and then they had to stick with the one that they were already going with.
You kind of, at first, you might feel like you're getting, a Sonic Adventure vibe from it, because of how it's, set up, because you were able to play as 3 characters, and they brought, you still had your hub worlds.
Which was a big thing that they brought back, but,